this is not this is more of a story time than anything else, but hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Nothando and I make videos on construction, lifestyle and travel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to like the video so more new people can find the channel. So a while ago I got a DM and somebody was asking me that they are not getting enough money from their bursary. Should they stay with the bursary? Should they switch? What should they do? And I was like, I've been in the same situation. So first year of my studies, I was on NFSIS, which is like, for my non-South African viewers, it's like a bursary by the government. The National Student Financial Aid Scheme is a South African government student financial aid scheme which provides financial aid to poor. Wait, was I poor? I was poor. To poor undergraduate students to help pay for the cost of their tertiary education after finishing high school. It is funded by the Department of Higher Education and Training in South Africa. So it's standard, they pay for your fees and then they pay a certain amount for allowance for your pocket money and stuff. So NFSIS would pay for accommodation and a portion of accommodation and I think 75% of the accommodation and fees, and then you had to top up the accommodation and then they'd also give you an allowance. And I think I got it was 1,000 rands a month for the allowance, and sometimes they'd pay you in months, so they give you like 2,000 rands for 2 months and you get your 2,000 rands. How did we survive like that? Yo. Anyway, luckily second year I got a bursary, and that bursary paid for my fees and gave me an allowance. So instead of paying for my accommodation, it gave me allowance for my accommodation. So now this meant that I needed to pay rent from this amount of money, and the money that I got was about, rent was 82.5% of my whole allowance. So then after paying for everything, I would have 700 rands after paying for rent. And then in that 700 rands, I needed to buy toiletries, groceries, and pay for electricity. I forgot how much electricity was. I think it was like 150. And I think for the year I tried, but this was I was struggling more than I was when I was on NFSIS, but NFSIS you have to pay back anyway. Grateful that I have a bursary. I was struggling. I remember I would literally calculate the last 100 rands, how I can stretch it. Like I'd get like gizzards and liver and bread that's not sliced because I wanted to stretch my money so much. So I did this for about a year, literally a year. And every now and then I'd have my sister and my mom top me up, but I felt like they did not believe that I'm not, like they're like, you have a bursary now, why are you asking for money? Like they didn't get it. So then I decided to draft an email to my HR lady and I kind of broke down the costs for her. I was like, girl, I'm struggling. And the best way, I think, if you're in this situation to do this is show them your costs and rather let them pay for stuff. So instead of giving me my allowance every month, I would like to give it back to you and you allocate my allowance to different things that I'm paying for, you know. So can you pay for my rent? And then she was like, no, I can't really do that. So I was like, okay, fine. Because I'm struggling with food, can I then eat at the dining hall at school? Because I can't buy groceries, toiletries as a woman, like the costs are high, and electricity from this remaining 700 rands. So what they did then was then give me to eat from the dining hall, and I kind of paid for my food costs, and at least I had 700 rands that I can spend on toiletries and electricity and even have a little bit for like airtime and stuff. So if you're in the same situation, I would advise you to speak up and try to give them back so instead of them giving you like a lump sum, give them back the cost of everything, put it in their hands so that they know that this is exactly what they're paying for. Because some people are very sneaky out there. Some people be cheating their bursaries or trying to get like stuff on a back door. So you're better off putting it back in their hands and speaking up, especially if you're like really struggling. Speak up. If there's nothing that they can do, you can, if you're lucky like that, you can always try to look for a bursary that will, I don't know, compensate you a bit more. Just look at the pros and cons of what the working conditions are going to be afterwards, what's required of you afterwards, and whether or not you actually do like that company. But yeah, but first I would advise you to like speak up. Yeah, I hope it makes sense and you learn something. And if you're lucky to get a bursary in 20 whatever year this is, then great. But I don't think you'll have the same problems that I had back then, especially with coronavirus. Not a lot of people are on campus, so you probably are sorted. Yeah, anyway, I hope that this video was helpful to somebody out there. I love getting DMs because I feel like you might not be the only person that's going through this. Yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. See you later in another video. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Mwah.